Greetings and welcome to the Dr. J Vlog series. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, and on Tuesdays we talk about music and the arts. The theme of the Dr. J Vlog series this week is energy. So we're going to be talking about songs that deal with energy in different forms and with different meanings. But since we dealt with the sun last month thematically, the songs that I'm talking about today aren't necessarily going to be dealing with the sun directly. There's a couple actually that do have some references, but that's not the main focus. And nor are we going to be talking about songs that deal with fire. There are countless songs that deal with fire or have fire in the title, or that talk about, the fire in our hearts and that sort of thing. So we're going to, that could have their own top 10 list, quite frankly. And then there are also all kinds of songs about the electromagnetic attraction that people feel and experience with one another, or their animal magnetism. And I'll be excluding those songs because they would have their own list as well. You could have Taylor Swift's Sparks Fly, or Hypnotized by Rihanna, or you could go back to the 1970s and Walter Egan's Magnet and Steel, and so on. There's just many songs out there. Again, we could do another top 10 list on that. And plus, I don't know the number, but it seems like there are innumerable songs, different songs, that are titled Electric, simply, or Electricity, or Energy. Just the one-word title, Energy. Drake, anyone? Beyonce? So, or songs that feature the word power as well, like The Power of Love. When you think of the song Power of Love, what artist do you think of? Well, it's a bit of a trick question. Some of you may immediately think, oh, Celine Dion, right? Power of Love. Or, if you like, maybe it's Jennifer Rush, her version. Same song. But when I think of Power of Love, what I think of is Huey Lewis and the News. Yeah, they had a song in the 1980s, same title, Power of Love. And for that matter, so did another band, and a completely different song, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So there's some, and maybe there's others out there with the title Power of Love. Okay, so instead, I'm only focusing on songs that actually or mainly deal with the themes of physical energy today, or when physical energy is used as a metaphor for some broader messaging or social condition, that sort of thing. And by the way, if you're just for fun, if you're interested in songs about physics, there's actually a whole genre, subgenre out there of people who are making songs about physics and chemistry and biology and so forth in all kinds of creative ways. And so I'm just going to share with you briefly a song that deals with the three key forms of mechanical energy. And it's simply called The Energy Song by Bo. And he has his own channel with thousands of 169,000 subscribers, Flipping Physics. So he certainly doesn't need me to promote him. But nonetheless, here's a snippet from that song.
Hello, my name is Bo, and this is The Energy Song, my project for This is the energy song. Sing it once and it won't be long before you know all three mechanical energies. Know all three mechanical energies. We're about to learn, be prepared. Kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared. Remember, we've got the tools.
Okay, so you get the idea there. So yeah, that's one way to learn your physics, shall we say. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just do a top 10 list of songs that deal with energy from a Dr. J perspective. Again, these are not the 10 best songs ever. These are just songs, as I've mentioned before, that resonate with me personally and that speak to the themes that I'd like to cover. All right, so number 10 is a rather obscure one. It's by Chokey Taylor, and it's called Green Energy. So again, I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's a reggae tune that basically talks about saving the planet Earth by turning to green energy in the title. And again, he's a little-known musician from Montego Bay in Jamaica. But I really kind of like this little gem of his. So again, I'm going to leave links of all of the songs that I reference below. So that's number 10. Number 9, I've got, we're carrying on with the theme of saving the planet, shall we say. And it's one of the many songs out there that I mentioned that are titled Electricity. So, but this is an original song by a band called Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, or OMD, the acronym. And it's kind of a classic synth pop track in their style, very much in the OMD style, shall we say. And it directly celebrates the power of electricity, but especially with the appeal then of turning to solar power to help solve our energy problems. So, and there's a great little recurring keyboard riff that's played throughout the song as well. So I really like that song. At number 8, I have the song Shine by Collective Soul, released back in 1993. It's a bit of a cheat, if you will, but I thought I'd sneak this one in because it's obviously has these spiritual themes with the repeated line, heaven let your light shine down. And it's just one of those inspirational songs that make me think of my life's mission, and it's something I've basically been praying for every day of my life. So even though I'm a scientist by my training and professionally, for as long as I can remember, I've been praying at night forgiveness for my faults, for my daily failures, and I'm always asking for some help, some help from above, for heaven to let your light shine down on me, so that I could be able, or I might be able to try to shine my light as brightly as I can the next day. So that's an ongoing or recurring prayer, call and response almost, that I've been doing is really throughout my life. Okay, now that's very personal, so please just keep this between us. Don't tell anyone about this. Just a secret. Okay, number 7 then is a bit of a shameless self-plug. It's actually very explicitly a shameless self-plug from my song Beauty, Truth, and Light. And it's inspired in part by the Collective Soul song that I just mentioned. It's the second single off of my debut album, and it focuses just on the ultimate sources of energy in the universe that are forever bathing us in beauty, truth, and light if we're open to receiving the messages. So it also happens perhaps to be the favorite song I've ever written. Again, I've written songs about my parents and so forth, but that's a kind of a different category. But I think for me, this is my favorite song kind of musically and thematically, if you will. And my producer, CX Violet, just did an unbelievable job of adding some additional instrumentation and helping amplify the song's core message. So again, as with the other songs, I'll leave a link below. And by the way, if you do look at it, please give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, and now we're at number 6. So as Monty Python would say, and now for something completely different. And I'm going with just a really fun song from my youth, and it's called Greased Lightnin', right, from the movie Grease from the late 1970s, when it was 78, I believe, with the lead vocals by John Travolta. And it's an iconic song from the movie musical Grease, and it compares the car that they're making or they're restoring to a form of greased lightning with incredible mechanics and this maximum capacity for speed and energy. Oh, and supposedly it's a chick magnet too. So yeah, it's just one of those really catchy and fun songs. Great video, by the way, if you click on the link below. It's taken from the movie itself. And as I say, it's just one of those songs that you can't help but enjoy. Start singing along with or dancing to, perhaps. Okay, and now we are at the top 5. Okay, so at number 5, I've included a song that may not seem like it should fit in this list, but it's called Night Moves by Bob Seger. It's a personal fave of mine, and it's a wistful song about youth rather than energy per se. Like when Singer, if you go back to some of Seger's other songs, he does talk about energy in different formats and so forth. In fact, in his first big hit, Turn the Page, he has this great line where he talks about being up on the stage and every ounce of energy you try to give away. But in Night Moves, as I say, it's not really so much a song about energy. It's a classic coming-of-age song. And the last verse is the one that captures me every time it gets me. It's the half-sung, kind of half-spoken almost, lyrics, where he talks about, I woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. Started humming a song from 1962. Ain't it funny how the night moves, and you just don't seem to have as much to lose. Strange how the night moves, with autumn closing in. So yeah, check it out if you haven't heard that one in a while. So that's at number 5. And then at number 4, and speaking of thoughtful and reflective songs, I have Wichita Lineman by Glen Campbell. It's actually a song written originally by Jimmy Webb back in 1968 and then released by Campbell a couple years later. And it's just a beautiful, melancholy song with these evocative lyrics about this lonely Wichita lineman who's, working in the vast American landscape. And yep, that's the person in the song, and I guess literally in real life, many folks do this, the person who's up there on the high wire, installing, maintaining, and repairing the power lines. And so Glen Campbell, just passed away a couple years ago too. Just a brilliant guitarist, and turns out he could sing as well. So when I hear the song and I hear the particular arrangement of this song, I'm always mesmerized. And the opening lines of the song, the first verse, really still resonate with me, maybe more than ever in some respects. So they're singing, I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire. I can hear you through the whine. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. Okay, so yeah, check out the link below. All right, and then at number 3, I have one of the coolest songs ever. The kind of song that just makes you stop whatever you're doing when you hear it for the first time. At least it did for me. And I'm talking about Electric Avenue by Eddy Grant. So the song once more kind of returns to a reggae theme of some sorts. Well, it's not exactly reggae. It's not directly reggae, but it blends some of the reggae rhythms, if you will, with a feel of electronic and synth from the early 1980s. I think it was released in 82. But this time with socially conscientious lyrics, shall we say. So the Electric Avenue is the metaphor that's used to discuss energy and vibrancy in urban settings, as well as the challenges of poverty and violence. So in these things in the song, and now in the street there is violence and lots of work to be done. No place to hang out our washing, and I still can't blame all on the sun. We're going to rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. We're going to rock down to Electric Avenue, and so on. So yeah, really, really dig that song. Still find it just one of those really cool, different songs. As I say, it catches your ear, and you think, whoa, that's pretty cool. That's different. All right, now at number 2, really special song by a group I actually didn't know before this song. They've been around for some time now, but the song is called Lightning Crashes by the band Live. Not Live, Live. It's another song that just kind of blew me away when I first heard it on the radio. And I didn't really know who the band was, but I immediately sort of locked in on the song, the mood that it was creating, and the lyrics. And it's just a really creative exploration of life juxtaposed with death, using, again, kind of the notion of the metaphor of the lightning crash. And so the lightning crash then represents the powerful forces of nature, the energy of nature, and the sudden changes that can occur, including at times profound insight and understanding and inspiration. So, and yet that's bookended at the same time with loss and transition and so on. So it's a really simple and yet highly expressive rhythm guitar that opens the song. It sets the mood with these opening chords. And in fact, it's actually just the guitar and vocals for well over 2 minutes. Very sparse, right? And then it leads into this chorus of, oh, I feel it coming back again, like a rolling thunder chasing the wind, forces pulling from the center of the earth again. I can feel it. And then finally, they add the drums around 2.5 minutes into the song and a bit more instrumentation. The song picks up. The lead vocalist, the lead singer of the song, Ed Kowalczyk, really brings up the vocal and changes his voice, his singing style, and it really changes the whole mood of the song, and it gives it a whole new level of meaning and expression. Okay, so that's my number 2. And then finally, at number 1, I've turned to my old friend and my musical muse, Dan Fogelberg, and the opening song of his debut album that was released back in, 1972. And the song is simply called To the Morning. So again, it's not really so much a song all about energy per se, but it's rather about the emergence of the day and the energies that are called forth to enlighten us, whatever might happen the rest of the day. And so it remains for me one of the most beautiful songs that's ever been written, quite frankly. There's just a gorgeous piano and melody, and the song essentially is about worshiping the arrival of the day and whatever might come that day. And so the lyrics open thusly: watching the sun, watching it come up from over the rooftops. Cloudy and warm, maybe a storm. You can never quite tell from the morning. And it's going to be a day. There's really no way you can say no to the morning. Yes, it's going to be a day. There's really nothing left to say but come on morning. And then one of the best or most beautiful renditions of this song, capturing Dan in his absolutely peak form, comes from his I think it was 1979. I hope that's correct. But it's his live performance at Carnegie Hall, and he sings this particular song. I've left the link in the description below, and I really want you, if you have a chance, to listen to this song, if nothing else, and the expressive piano playing that Dan does live, and especially the use of his voice as this almost ethereal gift from God, the way he sings, the way he expresses the lyrics, and so on. Okay, that's all, folks, for today, and may you and yours continue to create peace in your lives, nurture love in your hearts, and dole out hugs in abundance. And hope to see you tomorrow.